is key. Are you moving in the right direction? You have a destination that you want to get to, but are you actually making positive movement toward it? Now, while I've been figuring out what I wanted to focus on in my podcast, in my life, and all these different things, it comes down to, am I moving in the right direction? Am I doing the things every single day, a small little consistent action that is moving me forward into that future that I want? Hey, welcome to another episode of the Levelin Up podcast with your host, Brigham Blackham. Guys, I'm your success story strategist. So excited. Today, I have a very unique topic based in a story that barely happened to me. Now, I had this short-term rental guest, and they said, hey, the AC is not working. It's so hot in here. What's going on? And I learned a lesson. I'm going to share with you what swapping out your batteries actually means. Now, this is really impactful because it's not just something that happens once or twice in a business. This happens all the time. And this is something you can apply in your life, in your business, in your vitality, in so many different elements of life. So I thought that because I learned this lesson the hard way, I can give it to you at a great discount. So now, earlier this week, while I was dealing with this AC unit, I had someone come in because it was late at night. It was probably 8 or 10 at night. And I get this call. They're like, hey, the AC is not working. And I go through my app on Vivint. I'm like, wait a second. It looks like it's just fine. It's working. The fan's on. Everything's working. Let's just check in on it and see how it does. A few hours later, they're like, yeah, it's still not working. All right, we call this in. We're going to figure this out. Our guy shows up. And then while he's there, he's like, I don't know what's going on. The fan's not working. The electronics aren't working. We need to call in a professional. I was like, awesome. Okay. So we call in this professional. He comes in and Todd's awesome. He troubleshoots the issue. He's like, wait a second. The physical machine is fine. However, there's something weird with the communication from your thermostat. I was like, what? I on the app, it shows it's working just fine. After doing a little bit of discovery, we realized that the batteries had died. And that was the whole problem. The batteries had died and I hadn't swapped out the batteries. Think about this, guys. We called in somebody. It's going to cost like $100+ because of batteries that were not swapped out. And it made me think, well, I was really frustrated in the moment, but it made me think, what other batteries do we have in our life that need to be swapped out? What are those things that maybe have just depleted, that like a cell phone that is dead? You're like, wait a second, why aren't this working? We need to recharge. Now, I want to first start off with this idea of swap. Now, I was on a podcast this last Friday with my friend Alan. I shared this idea and I was like, man, you know what? This doesn't just have application in addiction recovery. This has application in so many different elements of life. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I've been focusing very hard on my vitality. I've been exercising a whole lot more and doing things that allow me to have a clearer mindset. And the way that I've been going about this is in 4 easy steps, right? This first one with SWAP is specific. You want to make sure that you're very specific to your goals. What is it that you want to swap out? What do you want to exchange for good in your life? There could be a neutral activity that you're doing, that you're spending your time on. Maybe you're watching Netflix. Maybe you're death scrolling on social media. Maybe you're going out there and just taking way too many naps. I don't know what your thing is, but I guarantee if you look through your day, there's something that you could pinpoint. And in that moment, you can say, you know what? This is something that's either neutral or not serving me. It's not helping me get to that next level. I'm going to do something unique. I'm going to swap it out for something that I do want. Now, when you're very specific in that, you're saying, you know what? I'm going to take my television time that I've had and I'm going to swap it out for reading books. That one little adjustment could absolutely transform your life. You think about this, the W in swap is it worthwhile? As you're thinking over the things that you have in your life, is what you're swapping out something that is going to be worthwhile? Is it something that you want long-term to develop? Maybe this could be upskilling your life. You go and you think, what are those skills that I want to develop? Who already has those skills and who do I need to associate with? And would that be worthwhile to spend your time doing that and invest your time doing it? Absolutely. Now, next is this idea of appreciation. Now, if you have appreciation for the things that you would be swapping out, that is going to be a great way to determine whether this is a useful activity. Now, one of those ideas could be, you know what? I've been watching a lot of movies and I'm going to swap out a worthwhile class, or I'm going to swap out something that is great for my health. Maybe you've been going to bed really late. Now, a few months ago, I was going to bed pretty close to midnight, almost every single night. And then my baby was waking me up in the middle of the night. I was just dog tired. But recently, I swapped out some of my late night death scrolling on social media, just going through things and trying to get ideas for being able to sleep, for being able to read. Now, as I've been doing that, I appreciate that activity, and it gave me the idea that if I appreciate the process and I appreciate the results, as I focus on those things, a lot of opportunity starts to happen. You get better sleep, you recharge better. Suddenly, instead of your phone being dead all the time, you think about what are those batteries that need the recharge that actually get them. Now, I've been talking with my coach, Devin, and he had this idea. He's like, if you're not getting enough sleep, you could be doing a lot of damage to your body. You're working really hard, but you're not getting all the results that you really want. And that little piece of being willing to sleep when I typically like to watch a movie or I like to do other things, adding that extra element of sleep in there actually upskilled my ability to connect, my ability to go all in on my exercise. It's been huge. Now, this last little idea with SWAP, so it was specific, worthwhile, appreciative, or appreciate, and then positive movement. Now, this is key. Are you moving in the right direction? You have a destination that you want to get to, but are you actually making positive movement toward it? Now, while I've been figuring out what I wanted to focus on in my podcast, in my life, and all these different things, it comes down to, am I moving in the right direction? Am I doing the things every single day, a small little consistent action that is moving me forward into that future that I want? You can do the same thing. What do you want? What do you look for? What are you excited about? And if you can really articulate something that you want, why would you wait? Start saying, you know what, this is what I want. I'm going to swap out those things that I like for the things that I love. I'm going to swap out that time on social media or that time on reading the newspaper, whatever it is. Maybe you're watching something that isn't helping you get to that next level. Whatever it is that you have that you think you need to flip that switch, I hope that you give yourself permission today to swap it out. Now, this idea of swapping out batteries, I've gone a little bit farther. You ready for this? Now, this idea of batteries, these metaphors, I hope they're helpful. First, with a D battery, right? I want you to think of a D as like the decisions that you make. If you're swapping out things, a good decision made the best time is better than the best decision made too late. That's by my great mission president, Mike Herr. A good decision made at the right time is better than the best decision made too late. Now, I had an experience where my car battery, it died on the way to my aunt's funeral. While I was going there, I got really frustrated because when the funeral started, nobody was answering their phones. We didn't have any help. Belinda and I and the kids were in the back. We're like, what are we going to do with all of this time that we have because we are missing the funeral? And when you think about the ways that batteries corrode, right? Maybe it's the connection, right? I've had that happen before in my car before, in the middle of the winter, where you've got the corrosion around that battery, that what do you call it? Power couplet. I feel like that's not a real term, but maybe it is. But that thing that goes around the copper part, you sometimes have to scrub that with a wire brush to clean it off. And the battery that you have in your business, is it fully charged? Now, I've heard this from many people. I think it has application, not just in business, but it has it in life, in your vitality. When you are recharging, just recharge. You don't have to be plugged in and using your phone at the same time. I know that can drain your battery, and it kind of diminishes the life of the battery. You think about it, if you are doing something, just do it. Now, this C battery, because there's multiple types of batteries that we have in our life, the C battery is commitment. Now, if you have a commitment for excellence, why do you settle for all the different things that you want, that you're not willing to do the hard work? Now, I've been listening to Andy Elliott a lot recently, and he has been inspiring me and Greg Kimball and all these different mentors of mine to fully commit to be the very best person that I can. And I hope that you will commit as well to be the best person that you can. You swap out the things that you like for the things that you love, because it's very simple. Sometimes we have stories like this. Like, I've had multiple times where door locks for my short-term rentals, the batteries run out. And if the batteries run out, the mechanism fails to disengage and they're locked. You have to go and use a physical key to unlock that door. When that happens in your life, you're like, man, I'm totally drained. I'm locked out of my potential. I don't have a way to move forward. I don't have a way to get in or out. What are you going to do? Do you have a backup key? Do you have a way that you can actually access the things that you want in your life? You're able to tap in. Now, one of the things that I've been doing, this is something that Devin has been helping me with, is to ground. Now, as I've committed to doing this, it's 15 minutes a day sitting out with my shoes off, putting my feet on grass or on Mother Nature, on the earth, When I've committed to do that, it started to be a time where I could contemplate, manifest, think of who I want to be, why I want to do things, and what is important to me. I wonder if you were committed enough to your future to say, I'm not willing to work this hard to stay the same. Who would you be in 6 months? Who would you be in 10 years? We often underestimate what we can do in 6 months, but we overestimate what we can do in a week or two. And it's okay to take time to enjoy the process and to marry that process. Now, there's another idea here, this AA batteries, right? This is accountability in action. Who are you accountable to? If you take responsibility yourself, that's key. You have to take responsibility. You don't want to play this blame game. Nobody is going to force you into your own future. I'm not, nobody else is. I hope that you choose to take action. Accountability in action, AA batteries. This is something that you can swap out. You can swap out not being accountable and not taking action for accountability and action. You can force accountability on yourself by saying, you know what? I'm going to text somebody in my life that I know, like, and I trust what I'm doing, what I'm manifesting. I'm creating a board of advisors. I'm doing something that allows those people to know what my intentions are, to speak my dreams out loud. If you allow yourself to speak your dreams out loud, eventually, as you make constant daily action toward it, you swap out those things that are just okay for the things that are amazing in your life. Just imagine if you replaced inconsistency with dedication. If you replaced indecision with decisive action, what would happen to you in your life? Now, this AAA battery, check this out. You've got awareness, adaptability, and achievement. If you swapped out those batteries in your life that are neutral, that are not actually giving you the charge, the recharge, the excitement that you need, what if you replaced rigidity with flexibility? You open your eyes to new opportunities because you're reading books, you're going to classes, you're doing things, you're hiring mentors, you're connecting with people that are doing the work. You identify that work and you do the work. Awareness, adaptability, and achievement, that AAA battery, this is awesome. Because when you think about being aware, you first have to know what you don't know. Otherwise, you can't focus on those skills to develop yourself. Now, one of the reasons I am so passionate about podcasting and connecting with you guys is because as I learn things, as I connect the dots for myself, I feel like I have a moral obligation to help other people as well. Now, for you, it's all about connection, guys. If you are not connected to your battery, if you're disconnected, even if you have swapped it out, you didn't reconnect those things, the charge isn't there. And if you think you want to make time to do things that are positive, if you want to do things that change your life, make sure that you're connected to the people that love you, connected to the people that will make a difference in your life. And I hope that as you think about swapping out the the okay things or the negative things or even the neutral things for those positive things, that you will be able to start to create your success story. Craft that story, design your life in a way that makes sense. And remember, as you're swapping, be specific. You're worthwhile in what it is that you're going after. You appreciate what it is, long term, not short term, and make positive movement. That's what this swapping mentality is all about. And I hope that this is helpful. Guys, if you like this and you want more leveling up content, more powerful insights, keep liking that, liking the Leveling Up podcast. Give me a review on Facebook, on all these different platforms. I hope this is adding value to your life. And remember, wherever you are in life, just take that positive action forward. Take that positive movement and say, you know what, where am I? Where do I want to be? And take the action to make it happen. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. God bless, guys. Like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.